Alright, I think I'm gonna put this pan in. So I'm gonna put the pan up like this. It's gonna go sideways like this up on this side to get over that ledge, and then I'll push it straight up on this side because it's more flat. Got it trimmed out better, but I got everything cut out. I don't know if we're using the wheel wells yet, so we're just gonna leave them as they are, or what's gonna be used for what so far. But I gotta still trim up here real fast, but I'm gonna do that. And the doors ain't shutting right, so I'm gonna jack the car up, get the door shutting right, and then I'm gonna sit there and weld the bars in so we can get this floor pan put in so we can lift in the air. But this side is off, so I'm gonna sit there and tie a ratchet to there, to the center of the frame. I'm gonna pull it over, and then these cracks right here where they be welding or coming apart, it's starting to come apart real bad on the passenger side and it's kicking out. So I can push that in or pull it in, and I'll weld it here, and it should make that door line up. So let me try some of this real fast and we'll see what happens. And since we're putting on new quarters, I'm gonna try to save as much of this driver's quarters we can for this 64 over here, for one of our cars that are for sale. Put it back together, but let's see what we got. All right, guys, so we're sitting there getting this floor pan getting ready to put in, and as you guys can remember, the doors were sagging real bad, the body mounts were real bad, so I trimmed out the floor. I sat there, I got the door taken off, switched it to the door that's going to be being put on the car, got the gaps looking good. It needs a little WD-40 to start opening and shutting real good, but we're going to go to the other side and get this door jamb lined up, and then it's going to be weld the bars in the car to get the supports right, and so we can lift this thing up in the air and get the floor put in. And as you guys can remember, this quarter panel was kicked out, the car was sunk in like bowing, and then we ratchet strapped this piece to pull the quarter panel in so we can weld it right here to make the body line right, so we can weld the bars in. And we're gonna get this door lined up, and we should be getting a floor pan put in today. How's it going? So got the floors tacked in, door shutting right. These quarters are aftermarket quarters, so there's a little tight gap here, but I can adjust it a little bit later. But I got the floors tacked in and it looks good. Got the front looking good, the back in the original places. We haven't got the rockers in, but now we're gonna start on this upper deck. So I'll notice the frame mounts, the old mounts are still connected to the frame, so I'm gonna have to lift this thing in the air. I'm gonna plasma cut the upper deck out, and I'm gonna sit there and figure out how far it goes down on the wheel wells, and then try to put it back to the original spot. And I'm just gonna tack it into the floor. Since the wheel houses, I think they gotta come out. I really don't want to take them out, but usually you can just try to patch what you can up, but I think these things are so rotted out. So that's where I'm at today. So I think I'm gonna have this out today. Hopefully the new one sat in today too. We'll see. But got her in, man. That ain't no joke. So I'll come back and cut out all the floor mounts and get all the floor floor brackets and the rockers mounted real good. Yeah, buddy. All right, man. I sat there and I got the body jacked up on the quarters, because we don't care about these quarters, but it was like rough ball of where the body should have been, and it's only these two little corners holding this pan in on the top, and then probably that front loop. So the sides were already ate out completely. So I'm about to cut those, and then we'll be able to pull this pan out and get the new one set in and sit there and put all the new body mounts on there. See how it goes. So it did not take that long to take this piece out. So now I'm going to sit there and set this other pan in, and I'm not tying it down to the wheel housings, but I'm going to put the new motor mounts, the new body mounts in, and we're going to sit there and self-tap it to the other floor pan in the front, get the braces cleaned up, and see where we go to next. I think next would be the back deck pan, but let's get this one in first. Alright guys, so as you can see, we had to kick and fight and beat this thing into place, and I got it bolted down, all four. The 2 or 4 are bolted down in, so all the frame bolts are there, is bolted into the front floor pan. And I just trimmed this quarter panel out. Plasma cutter. I mean, I use a plasma cutter. I know I see a lot of people using their saws and grinders and all that, and I just plasma cut it out. This is the rough cut, but I'll probably use something more gentle the closer I get. But now I'm gonna jump into the trunk pan. So I needed to take this quarter out, which wasn't much on there to hold it on anyway, but I'm gonna take this quarter out. Then took the quarter out, I'm gonna take this floor pan out. I'm gonna leave the tail light pieces and the trunk gutters right here in place. The gap on the trunk looks nice, so I'm gonna leave all that in place for now. I'm gonna take this pan out. I'm gonna sawzall under here because we're gonna put new housings on it. So I really haven't stared at them to see if they're really repairable or not, but I don't think so. So I'm gonna take a sawzall and cut underneath all this. I'm gonna put the new floor pan in, self-tap it here, and then I'll probably start welding the floors in. And I gotta kick around what we're gonna do with the wheel housing. So I got new wheel housings, but I know the other one's probably really toast, man. I just hate to get all up in here, man. You see how far back all the welds are? Kind of looks like a booger. So I'm not scared of some of that stuff, but it just depends where I can get the welder in, which I know is possible, but I'm not even gonna focus. I'm not even thinking about this right now. We're gonna get on this trunk pan though. Get this trunk out of here. Then eventually I come over here and cut this other quarter out, but hopefully I don't have to cut it out until the other quarter is getting put in. We'll see. I'm not guaranteeing. This door ain't shut, but door's looking good. It's looking real good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is what I do, man. I do heavy collision and weld cars together. I'm not scared of this kind of stuff. I know some people commented, "Oh, we don't see him do much metal work." Please, I've been doing lots of metal work. Lots of metal work. I'll bring it back later. Peace. Bringing it back. Got that trunk pan cut out. I gotta do a couple little trims on the wheel wells, and just right here, like this little bull hockey. We're gonna take that off that new pan to sit down, and these pieces to lay down on it. And if you can see the ratchet straps there, and I got one there. So when we're doing this car, there's certain points in the car you know where they're going to be at. They got to be there. They got to be there. The front two, the bushings, the bolts got to line up there. There is 2 bushings here. 1, 2, or 4. 3, 4. All those bolts have to be in there. That pan is down. So to make that floor pan fit in, we had a ratchet strap. Underneath and pull it forward just to get these self tappers in there, because we know those two. That pan, the upper deck lays, the floor pan lays on top of it. So we knew that. I had to do the same thing up here. Ratchet strap to pull the front forward to make it right where it's supposed to be at. So ratchet strap on both sides, pulled it forward, pulled it into place. Did this, pulled it into place. Got that bolted down. So I'm gonna come back here, trim that little pieces out. I'm gonna put the bushings in here. So here's one right there. The other bushing there, and that's the frame. And if you can remember the original frame on this car, none of this was even there. So this is the frame from that donor car, which we're probably gonna still put together. But so I'll put the bushings in. I'm gonna trim a little bit on the wheel housings out, and I'm gonna put this pan in. I'm gonna set this down on top of it for now, which it should lay on top. Make sure the trunk's still shutting right. And we will be jumping onto the passenger wheel housing. So I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to really look at it, because it's a lot of work to take one of those pieces out. So I don't know if I'm gonna patch it or how clean we're gonna get it or what. So I'm gonna think that over in a little bit, but that's not right now. Looking pretty.